Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Jim Kleiber Show. Today is Wednesday, October 28th, 2020. It is election day in Tanzania, or maybe it has already ended based on the time difference. And there's an upcoming election here in the United States in less than a week. It is only a week away, at least for the election day. And then we'll have the aftermath, or whatever that looks like. Hopefully that will be peaceful and loving and respectful, and that we appreciate the process and we focus on that. And that, in some ways I worry. I think we've been locked up in houses for, 8 months now. And there's a lot of pent up emotion, anger, fear, sadness, loneliness, confusion, uncertainty, some joy, but not so much pent-up joy, I wouldn't say. Pent-up energy in many different ways. I noticed it myself. I went to the dentist this morning. It was fantastic. I came home and I was reading something on Twitter or Facebook, and I started to cry. And then I listened to an audio of a friend who passed away because of COVID, and I really started to cry. And it surprised me at how quickly the sadness came. I was chatting with some friends earlier, and they suggested one of them suggested I watch a documentary called The Plot Against the President. And I looked up the cast, and the cast is Donald Trump Jr. and Kimberly Guilfoyle and who else? Mike Cernovich and Donald Trump Jr. and maybe I already said his name. And who else? Then there is also Roger Stone, and then there is Matt Gaetz, and then there's Jim Jordan and Devin Nunes. It's kind of the same. It's the same cast and characters that seem to say that there's a plot against the president. And I tried to get into a somewhat maybe cordial conversation, and I just got so angry. I'm just so damn tired. I'm so tired of this group of 20 or so people that say the mainstream media is lying to you, the intelligence agencies are lying to you, there's this deep state conspiracy, and all these people that are former, the government workers and the former presidents and all of them, they're all lying to you. Basically the world is lying to you and we're telling you the truth. And I just don't believe it. It's the same trick, frankly. I don't know if it's a trick. That's implying that they're trying to do this. Maybe these people just really are that distrustful of other people in society. It gets me so angry thinking that it's more of a trick or that it's intentional. I know that this happens a lot, and it's happened a lot to me where I've been conned. I was a white man living in East Africa, and twice our house got robbed by, I think, who were friends of mine who pretended like they didn't rob the house. I think they were the ones I brought into the house, the friends that I brought into the circle who robbed the house. I got conned or robbed multiple times on the street because I was the tourist. I was obvious. I remember one time when I was in Kenya, I was going along interacting with a guy. He started telling me about how his family was getting attacked and the election violence, and how his family members died in the village and this and that. And all of a sudden I ended up at his shop where he was selling all these arts and crafts. And it went up I was in a building, and I went up some of these tiny stairs and ended up in the shop and went through the little workshop where people were working on the coasters and these other things made out of stone or wood. And I got into the back, and then he started, oh yeah, I like this one. Yeah, I like this one. Okay, fine. And so I had like 4 or 5 things. And he says, oh, that'll be like $200 US. $200 US? You got to be kidding, man. This thing costs $5 maybe. Altogether, it may be $20. You're trying to charge me 200? You're out of your mind. But at that point, I was stuck in the back of the room, and I realized I have to be careful with regards to my safety. And so I paid a much higher price than I normally would have, but I was just trying to take care of myself and get out. I ran a company with a friend who embezzled money and lied to us about it. And I had a woman, I think, lie to me about being pregnant. I've had many people lie directly to my face, and I gave them the benefit of the doubt over and over and over again. And I don't know. And perhaps this is what those people are thinking, that everyone's lying to me, everyone's cheating me. And I don't believe that the whole world is out to get me. I believe that a handful of people are going to go to the level where they lie consistently and boldly, bold-faced lies. So I get so angry. Like, why do people that I care about believe this bullshit that they're spreading? Oh, and I really, really want to get better at diving into it and think, what is going on in these people's lives that they distrust almost every authoritative institution? Why? Why do they distrust some of the top journalists in the country? Why do they distrust some of the top medical officials in the country? Why do they distrust the CDC? Why do they distrust the intelligence agencies? Why do they distrust many of the politicians who have been in? Why do they think that all politicians are corrupt? Why do they distrust this and that and this? Like, why? Why do they distrust so many people? I can't fathom it. And it angers me so much when they tell me to distrust them as well. No, you should trust. It's distrust 99% of the people and trust this 1%. It's the same thing. It comes to climate change. Oh no, it's the verdict is still out. Actually, no. Oh, well, it depends. Maybe there's a very, very small chance. There's a 1% chance, or less than, maybe it's 0.1% chance that these scientists are wrong. Okay. I'm going to go with the other side for now. I could be wrong in the future, and that's fine. But from everything that my intuition plus what so many scientists combining to say, what they combine to say, I trust that. I don't want to get angry. I want to feel calm and relaxed and all these emotions that we celebrate, right? But I'm not going to lie. I'm so damn pissed off. I'm so angry. I'm so angry that people think, why do people trust this small group of people and distrust this huge group of people? Why? Who do you trust? Who do you trust? And I ask this question a lot. Technically, it's whom do you trust? But see, that's maybe me being condescending towards other people. It doesn't even matter. Who do you trust? Who do you trust to tell you the truth? And does that even matter? Do you think that you can verify the veracity of documents on your own, sitting at home, looking at a computer? Do you think you have the technical wherewithal or the legal mind to understand if somebody broke the law while sitting at home, just analyzing what people are telling you on TV or on the internet? Do you? Like, this is me getting really pissed off because I strongly do not believe that you have the ability to, one, analyze whether an email is forged or is real, and two, understand whether it breaks the law or not. To do both of those things, to have that technical computer knowledge and that legal knowledge, I mean, if you have both of those, you're probably getting paid hundreds of thousands of dollars per year, if not millions. Like, honestly, if you have both of those competencies, I don't know why you're sitting at home looking at the internet. I'm being very frustrated right now. And there's a lot of the aggression and the anger is coming out. I hope it doesn't push you away too far, but if say for example, a document leaks, because they keep going on and on about what's going on with Hunter Biden's emails and stuff like this. If a document leaks, do you know whether it's real or not? Just because somebody says it's real or not doesn't mean it's real. Who do you trust to tell you whether it's real? Do you trust that they've done the work? Do you trust that they know which work to do? Do you trust that they're able to do the work? And do you trust that they're being honest about what they did and what they found? I just don't like when somebody lies over and over and over again to my face, and worse, lies to my friends and convinces them. And again, maybe some people are thinking, oh, but you're talking about the mainstream media. No, I'm talking about a handful of like 20 people that are the same cast and crew that are in almost all the congressional hearings, that are in almost all the documentaries, that are in almost all the news interviews. You look it up in that group. It's the plot against the president. Almost all of them are saying the same stupid story over and over again. It's just either those 20 people understand the world better than all of us, or they're lying and pretending that they understand the world. Or more than likely, they're just paranoid and they think the whole world's out to get them. And they're paranoid because who knows why they're paranoid. I don't know why they're paranoid. And the part of me wants to sink into that. Like I said, I really want to understand why they're so paranoid. It's hard. It's hard for me to let myself get to that place because I just get so angry. It's just... I don't like when people say to distrust the world. To distrust an individual, perhaps, but to distrust all the individuals or almost all of the individuals and only trust a handful, it rings alarm bells for me. It is the premise of almost every single cult, gang, extremist organization that has ever existed. Everyone is lying to you. We are not. Trust us. And the premise is most of the time, the only thing they're being honest about is their belief that the rest of the world is lying to you. And hey, you can believe it if you want, but you know what? The fastest way for me to feel miserable is to think that the whole world is out to get me. And I want to start taking better care of my own emotional health. And so part of that is expressing the anger that I'm feeling so I don't just bottle it up. Another part of that is trying to really work on who do I trust and why don't I trust them? And how can I rebuild trust in these people? Right now, the people that I don't trust, I said, are probably those handful. I mean, I have others in my personal life, right? And so I think the ones that have hurt me the most in my life and the ones that have broke trust the most with me have been the ones who have lied to my face when I confronted them. They still continued to lie to my face. And it includes heartbreak, like I said, heartbreak and stolen property and physical injury and things like this. Not so much physical injury to me, but maybe to other people. Nah, that's not true. Yeah, it's just, who do you trust? Just, I'll say, I trust CNN, I trust MSNBC, I trust NBC, I trust PBS, I trust CBS, I trust NPR, I trust New York Times, I trust Washington Post, I mostly trust the Wall Street Journal, I trust, who else do I trust? I don't know, there's quite a few out there. I trust most of those people. 60 Minutes, I mean, that's on CBS, I think. I trust most of these people, most of these journalists. Oh, I trust Reuters, I trust AP, I trust The Guardian, I trust BBC, I trust Al Jazeera, I trust many of these. Are they going to tell me 100% of the truth all the time? No. I mean, it's impossible to be 100% open and honest about everything, right? It's impossible to do. And two, it could be very dangerous to do. And three, it can overwhelm people when we do that. Do I think that sometimes they're going to go through something quickly and not fully report it, so not do enough homework or background research? Yes, sometimes. Do I think that they're going to write with bias sometimes? Yeah, no. I mean, I think they'll bias and they'll shape the article, and sometimes they'll lie. They'll lie with a white lie or sometimes even a big lie. But overall, I still trust them to do their job. Just like I trust the CIA and the FBI and local law enforcement and many people to do their job. The CDC, the National Institute of Health, I trust these people. And I think it makes me really sad when I think about how many people don't. How horrible it must be to live and think that Bill Gates and Melinda Gates are trying to infect you with a vaccine and to try to like control you. Or that chemical trails from airplanes are poisoning you and the people that you love and giving cancer to them. I can't imagine how sad and maybe afraid someone might feel being in that state. Or thinking that there's a conspiracy within the government and within all news and mainstream media channels to overthrow the president. I mean, one being the president thinking that, I can't imagine how afraid that would make him feel. But even people who support him or around his environment, just how hopeless that could make people feel. Thinking that these institutions that you grew up loving and admiring and respecting are letting you down. Again, I don't think it's objectively true, but I don't know how much objective truth matters. I think subjective truth matters, and I think it says that some people out there might be feeling deep pain, deep fear, deep anger, deep confusion, deep hopelessness, helplessness, powerlessness. And it's not to shame them for that, because we all feel these things at different times. I get so angry because I think this is why. Because I think that these beliefs are hurting them so much. And I care about these people. It's actually not so much that they're trying to get me to believe these things. It's more that I see these people that I really care about believing this stuff, and I get angry because I want the beliefs to stop so that they don't feel so angry. The irony, huh? I get angry because they're feeling angry. And I get angry because I think they're feeling so hurt that they're getting angry to stop that pain. Whereas I think just changing their beliefs or changing what they listen to, listening to different radio station or podcast or YouTube channel, TV, could help them choose to believe and rebuild trust in these institutions. I think I get so angry because I care so much about these people. Not the people who are making these documentaries, or it's not that I don't care about them. I don't know them, and so I don't have such strong emotional attachment to them. I want to get better at caring about strangers like that, but it's the people who are close to me. Yeah, and I don't know what's going on with them. And I try to have the conversation about politics. And I don't think it's ever, I think it's rarely about politics. And I want to have the conversation about what's going on with them on a deeper level, but I don't know if they want to have it. I don't know if they want to have it with me. It's a rough time for us emotionally. This pandemic has caused so much uncertainty in so many aspects of our lives, medically, professionally, like romantically, financially, physically. Yeah, there's a lot going on, and I think we're not talking about it. That's why I guess I started this saying that we just have so much pent-up energy. And I knew 3 people who had friends that died, friends or family members who died in the first couple weeks of this pandemic in the US back in March. I've known at least, I'd say, 10 people personally who contracted COVID across the world. I'm sure I know more people. I just don't know of it. I'm sure I know a lot of people who have lost jobs, who are struggling to put food on the table. Kind of figuratively, but also literally. Some friends in East Africa who are trying to take care of like their family. They were the only one making money, and now they're not making money. So they're trying to take care of a family. We're all going to get betrayed in life. We're all going to get lied to. We're all going to get cheated. We're all going to get abandoned. We're going to get rejected. We're going to get ignored. These things are going to happen. It's up to us how we respond to them. If we sit there and continue to fester and to grow and nurture this resentment towards people for what they did to us, the only person we're really hurting, or the one we're hurting the most, is ourselves. And it hit me again today, and it comes in different waves, but one of the things that we can do the most to influence other people is pay attention to our own health, especially our emotional health. If we walk into a room and we have a scowl and we're angry and we're stuck in a mode of anger, that anger could spread to other people, and it can also hurt people who really care about us, because we don't want to see our good friends stuck in anger. We don't want to see them stuck in sadness either. We say we want to see them stuck in joy, but I don't think we even want to see them stuck in joy, because at some point it seems fake if they're happy all the time or joyful all the time. We want to feel that good vibe from somebody, the vibe that they're letting the emotions flow, that they're when they feel something, they feel it, they express it, they process it, they move on, they go to the next feeling. Much easier said than done. It's easy for me to look out to the other people and say, gosh, I wish they would deal with their stuff so that they're not so angry all the time. But I can also deal with my stuff and try to process my anger, the anger I feel, not my anger. I don't have to own it and possess it. The anger that I'm feeling, the sadness I'm feeling, the confusion, the helplessness, the joy, the gratitude, the excitement, all of these different feelings. Sometimes it's just much easier to shout at someone. Sometimes it's just much easier to cuss someone out and to call them stupid and idiotic and obviously backwards and whatever phrase we want to come up with. It's much easier sometimes to do that than it is to pause and figure out why we're feeling so angry, or why we're feeling so confused. I think I feel so angry again because I think so many people I care about, myself included, are feeling a lot of pain because of certain decisions being made politically, but also pain in general. And it hurts me sometimes even more to see people I care about in that much pain, or in that much pain and not even recognizing it or being aware of it or communicating it. This just sense that somebody is really hurting deep down but not saying it. It makes me want to, I get so angry that I want to stop it physically, like do whatever I can to stop it. But sometimes that anger gets directed at the person themselves and not at the thing, and doesn't help. We conflate the anger for being me being angry at them instead of being angry at the thing that I think is hurting them. And even then, that can come off somewhat presumptuous. It is hard to talk about politics and emotions because I think a lot of our emotions don't come directly from politics but get really amplified by them. I think a lot of the emotions, a lot of the roots or seeds of the emotion come from memories and experiences we've had personally, or we've seen someone go through personally, whether it's our family or friend, someone really close to us, get hurt by something that happened, and we take on that experience. I don't know. I kind of want to avoid all political conversation and just talk about emotional health, help people be more emotionally healthy, feel all the emotions, be comfortable with all the emotions, express all the emotions, flexibility, stability, all this stuff. Protect ourselves from emotional attacks, strengthen our emotional flexibility and stability, and repair ourselves when we get hurt emotionally. Repair the wounds. But somehow the conversation always comes back to politics. Always come back to this third party that's having very indirect decisions on our lives, but direct relevance as it relates to emotional conversation. I'm going to try to be not more calm. I've still let the anger happen, but I want to try to imagine what the other people are feeling more instead of just paying attention to what they're believing and who they're trusting. I want to ask the question, what are they feeling? How do they feel right now? How do I imagine that they might be feeling right now? How do I imagine that they might be feeling when they think about this documentary? How do I imagine that they might feel when they think about voting? How do I imagine that they might feel when they think about reading an article in the New York Times? How do I imagine that they might feel when they think about watching Fox News? How do I imagine that they might feel when they think about becoming a politician themselves? How do I imagine that they might feel when they think about their financial situation? How do I imagine that they might feel when they think about their romantic situation? How do I imagine they might feel when they think about their medical situation, their medical health? How do I imagine that they might be feeling? And stop paying so much attention to what they might be believing. All right, y'all. That's Wednesday. Hope you're staying well, feeling all the feels, and thank you for being there for me. And I hope that in a weird way, I'm being there for you while you're listening to it. And I'm here for you. All right, take care, y'all.